News investigation getting quick action tonight as state leaders meet to address gaping holes in Michigan's mental health law that we first exposed.
7 investigator Ross Jones has been reporting on these fatal flaws for months now, and tonight lawmakers are taking notice.
You wouldn't have known it had you been there. There was no press conference or ceremony, but on Friday in St. Clair County, a probate judge made history.
I'm going to enter an order that requires Mr. Becker to participate in assisted outpatient treatment.
For the first time in a decade, because of reporting by the 7 investigators, mental health treatment was ordered under Kevin's Law, a law that had been unknown and virtually unused. It was designed to help people like Bill Becker, who was near rock bottom when we talked to him earlier this fall.
Some days I can't even function.
For years, he has struggled with bipolar disorder and schizophrenia.
I just had a breakdown and ended up walking the streets of Pontiac and ended up in Independent Township.
Bill has been in and out of hospitals more times than he can count, trapped in a cycle of despair familiar to countless people with mental illness.
I can't even get out of bed. It's hard to work.
In Michigan, those struggling with a mental illness have had only one option when they're in a crisis: to be committed to a private hospital where they'll be stabilized, medicated, and released days later. Kevin's Law, passed 10 years ago, was supposed to change that.
We need tools like this as additions to our toolbox.
As the 7 investigators reported in September, the law was designed to allow judges to order more meaningful care, outpatient treatment that lasts no less than 6 months. Judges can order services like therapy or a case manager to make sure that patients stay on vital medications and that they're working. But as we discovered, it sounded good on paper, but that's about it. Just ask Bill Becker's mom.
Nobody could tell me anything about it. Nobody knew anything about it.
When his mom, Gloria, saw our reports, she called St. Clair County Community Mental Health and said she wanted her son to receive treatment under the law. She found the same thing we did. The law was a mystery in most courtrooms. There were plenty of reasons why. It was overly complicated, misunderstood, and perhaps most important, unfunded. Judges were frustrated.
It's a failure. It's a complete failure.
Here in Genesee County, I've had 0 petitions ever filed on Kevin's Law.
Never been used in Kalamazoo County.
But as a result of our reporting, that may be changing. Days after our initial reports, officials with the Department of Community Health announced a special task force designed to address the problems with Kevin's Law, and they cited our investigation. Last week, the 8-member task force met for the first time, and after the meeting, officials announced new recommendations they expect will make the law more widely utilized. The biggest is this: because Kevin's Law is so complex and often confounds parents like Gloria, the panel recommended that judges can order care on their own.
So we removed that barrier, so the Kevin's Law can be used for any petition for mental health treatment filed in the probate court.
Instead of just dozens of petitions filed a year, with these proposed changes, judges now expect to see thousands. For Bill Becker, it could be life-changing. Thanks to the judge's order, he now has set meetings with medical professionals that include individual and group therapy, appointments with a psychiatrist, and substance abuse treatment. For the first time, he has hope.
It's going to be nice to get back into counseling and things like that. I think it's going to work this time.
Now, that task force's work is far from over tonight. Next month, they'll meet again to address the other big problem with the law, its lack of funding. The judges we spoke to all agreed that money needs to be set aside for the law, but ultimately, regardless of what they recommend, it's up to the state's legislature to approve it. If you want to learn more about filing a petition under Kevin's Law, we've put a link at the bottom of this story at WXYZ.com. I'm Ross Jones, 7 Action News.
Wow, Ross, great work, and so good the judges are going to get involved and speak up on behalf of families. Yeah.